And thanks for tuning in. For those who were starting to wonder whether the game would be broadcast, we did have a delay that was asked for by the officials as they were getting everybody's paperwork sorted out. But up next, we've got U17 Vasco out of Rochester, Minnesota, taking on Alaska Eclipse SC. We've got U17 Boys 2016 Schwann's USA Cup Tournament action on the way right here on NSC Gamecast. Everyone looks to be set as the U17 Vasco in the white uniforms, red numerals. They'll be traveling from right to left on your screen here in this first half. The Alaska Eclipse SC, well, they'll be in black, white numerals traveling from left to right. Logan Douglas in net for U17, and for the Eclipse, it's Reed Thomas. We'll be playing 2 40-minute halves with a 2-minute running clock break at about the halfway point of each half. So that means this one should be stopping at about 8, make it 9 past the top of the hour, initially controlled by the Eclipse. They'll move this backwards. Making the handoff is Andrew Larison. He'll feed that over for Richard Stanton. And then over and through. About 83 degrees here in Blaine, Minnesota on kickoff. And actually the temperature's been going down today. It's the humidity that's been causing issues. We started out, obviously, in the early mornings with green flag conditions, then yellow flag, which mean water breaks needing to come on, and the red flag going up means the games are shortened, as these would have been 45-minute halves were it not for the heat advisories. Larison goes backwards with it and feeds it over for Zechariah Woods. Larison back in control, and he'll look to play that back for Nathan Walsh. Walsh will switch it over to the left side. Eclipse still in control out of Fairbanks, Alaska are the Eclipse. FC Vasco hailing from Rochester, Minnesota. That'll take a couple of rolls, go out of bounds off of Vasco, so it'll be a throw-in upcoming for the Eclipse. The one thing that we can say throughout the week-long tournament is that the breeze has been out, which has helped at times, and sporadic cloud cover, although right now it doesn't look like we'll get any respite from the sun thanks to cloud cover in the near future. Into the far left sideline. This will be headed by Mitchell Allen, and they look to turn it upfield. Tristan Trejo. Trejo tries to get it over and has to retrieve it back himself. Larison and Trejo do battle. Trejo able to keep it in. Larison with some contact there, but not enough to draw the foul. And then stepping up defensively is Jacob Lures. We'll have a corner kick on the way, as they'll say it was last off of Lures. And Vasco with the early opportunity. My name is Eric Zamora, bringing you the play-by-play. Robin Ehrlich, our camera operator, and Danielle Dobish, the producer, as this is an NSC Gamecast production. Right-footed strike, curling towards the net, and it goes out the other end. They're unable to connect on the back end. Best opportunity there was Henry Thomas, and we'll hear that name quite a bit on both sides of the ball as Thomas plays for Vasco. As for Alaska, they cross the ball in with a shot and a save right off the bat by Logan Douglas, as Douglas makes the stop. This is fed over, and not the finish that they were looking for. Nice look there by Igor O'Rear, and this one will go up and over the crossbar. We'll have a goal kick on the way. What I was going to say is that Reed Thomas is the netminder for Alaska Eclipse, and Cole and Seth Thomas each play for the Eclipse as well. Cole is the older brother of Seth. Reed, the goalkeeper, no relation to either of the other two. From the center circle, they'll go backwards with it and hand it off. This is played by Walsh. Walsh switches over to the left side, as it looks like the Fairbanks team going with 4 fullbacks, at least for the moment. Switching over is Henry Thomas as he tries to disrupt the play, and Thomas will play that ahead. Walsh will get there, and he'll feed his netminder. Reed Thomas moving over and into possession by Ricky Stanton. Turning with it is Lures. Lures has Thomas going with him. This is played to the other side. William Toffner comes up with it and feeds it ahead for Trejo. Trejo with his back to Drew Rizek. And the Rochester side playing it through, but it's stripped away. Nice job by Larison feeding that over. Finishing it off was Walsh as he moves it up to the left side. And the Eclipse. Thomas comes in. Henry Thomas looking to pass that over. Toffner stripped of it cleanly, and the Eclipse will exit the zone. Now heading back into their own end is Ricky Stanton, but he's able to have that last be played by the Vasco side. We'll have a throw in on the way. Handled by Thomas. This will go in and be held onto by Douglas. With possession, they'll move it over to the left side. Looking for a switch in fields. And they get just that. This one is going to be run onto, unable to pull that down in time, was O'Rear. We'll have a corner kick and they'll go short with it. They'll hand off to Andrew Larison. Larison into the box, trying to connect there with O'Rear. Looking to exit the zone is Toffner. They'll play that through. Trejo running on. It'll be played back to the keeper as Walsh feeds Reed Thomas. Larison and Trejo jumping into the action, nearly came up with that one. Larson calls for it and receives it at the near side. He'll slam on the brakes and cross it inside. Looking to take a shot, and it's deflected. This one's going to go out of play. Nice job by the defenseman coming back, Nathaniel Douglas. And we've got another corner on the way for the Eclipse. They've quickly gotten a couple back-to-back. This time they go directly into the box. Held onto by the netminder. And he'll move that out. Stepping up but a little bit late to the party is Larison. This is over now for Toffner. Toffner battling Larison. Toffner will be rewarded with the throw-in. He'll actually leave that back, however. And head downfield. Daniel Maurice goes backwards with it to the right back. Looking to switch sides, and doing so is Douglas. Moving it from left to right. This will be played on, and the goalkeeper will have that escorted to him, as it looked like Ricky Stanton was ready to just let that roll to him, then saw the pressure and tightened up, made sure that the Euro FC player not able to get there in time. We'll have a throw-in upcoming, and it will be possession of the Eclipse. Larson feeds it off, gets it to Woods. They'll switch fields. Through ball, and looking for a touch, diving over to his left and stopping the Gillette offering was Logan Douglas. Larson goes backwards with it. I'll move it over to the left side. Eclipse play this through. Gillette to the top of the box. With it is Rysick. Coming back is Woods, and Woods has an open man as he dishes off for Stanton. Contact by Larson, but he's able to go backwards with it. And great communication there as they let him know that they had Nathan Walsh as an outlet. That's what he used. Still with it is Stanton. Stanton cross, and that's well long. Trying to get to it from the other side is Caden Hobbs. That'll go out of bounds. We'll have a goal kick on the way. This will allow for an opportunity and a substitution being made. 11th minute of action. So far, a scoreless affair between Euro FC Vasco and Alaska Eclipse SC. The Rochester side now seems to be set, just 1 on, 1 off. And it looks like Nathaniel Douglas will take the goal kick in place of Logan Douglas. The defenseman moves it over to the right. It's quickly jumped on by Lures. Lures coming in and flicks that down, looking to hand that off. In tight, firing the shot. Douglas with a save. And then in there in time is Henry Thomas to clear it away. At the other side, Cole Thomas with a left-footed touch forward. Woods goes outside with it. Larson gives him options, but Stanton will hold on to it himself. Stanton, a fullback, though we've seen a couple of times, he'll jump up into the fray and even lead the charge if need be. Larson, nice pull to keep that away from Jacob Buckingham. Jacob and Josh are twin brothers. Switched over to the left side. They'll look for a cross into the box, and that will roll over the goal line. We'll have a goal kick upcoming. And for the Alaska Eclipse, one of the areas that they're going to have an issue with is keeping players fresh, as they've only got 13, so they'll get both of their subs into the game. Coming off is Larson. He'll immediately head under the shaded awning and remove his jersey to catch a breather and look to cool down. Immediately with a touch is Seth Thomas. Goalkeeper Logan Douglas with it. He'll switch over to the right side. Picked off momentarily by Lures. And taking a slip and not able to recover in time is Woods. He'll come in late on the challenge. And drawing the foul is Mitchell Allen. We'll have a free kick upcoming for Euro FC. Nathaniel Douglas. It's sent up, then brought down. Gillette switches to the left side. Out of bounds, we'll have a throw-in upcoming for the Eclipse. They'll find the open man. To the right is Coleman Baxter. Baxter ahead for Woods. Inside the box. And a nice challenge there, stolen away by Nolan Stefanik. Into the box. It takes a deflection, but it is cleared from the 18. "15 minutes gone by, still no score. Brought up from the right side, trying to hit Trejo. Unsuccessful there. Turning and looking is Rizik. He'll go backwards with it. And this will be gathered by Ricky Stanton. Stanton switches over to the left side. Crossed into the box. And stepping up, moving that over is Mitchell Allen. He'll go back to the keeper. And strong touch there, but able to get there in time is Reed Thomas. Skied by Henry Thomas. And then back at the other end is Ben Anderson. This one will go out of bounds. Throw in short to Woods. He'll move this over. Rizik looks up, finds an outlet. Now they'll go all the way back for Baxter. Baxter steps, plays it ahead. Thomas feeds it off. Not finding a shooting lane, and then hitting the back post with Zachariah Woods. Great look, another shot, this time off the mark. But Woods did a fantastic job of reacting. Looked like he was going to take the initial shot when he had it. Saw that he had no lane. That was going to be deflected. So then quickly just changed the angle, pulled it over with his right foot, and got a much better look. That one took a bad bounce for the Eclipse, and off the post and out. Very similar, although you don't see it nearly as much in soccer, very similar to what you'll see a really good defenseman in hockey do when they find that they don't have a shooting lane, and they certainly in hockey you don't want to have a defenseman let a shot go that gets blocked. That's a recipe for disasters that can be quickly taken the other way by a quick wing. But there, just ever so slightly moving the ball, changing the angle, and that opened up a whole new shooting gallery. And Woods clanging that one with some mustard on it off the far post. We were that close away from having our contest first goal. They'll play this backwards. Baxter with it. And Baxter will hand off. Woods exchanges with Gillette. Gillette into the box. Same kind of look. This time he's able to find the shooting lane right away. But Logan Douglas standing between him and the mesh. Now Trejo. Trejo gets tangled up, and that allows Baxter to take over. He'll play it ahead. And going back with it is Stanton. Taking his time is Walsh. And on the far side now is Andrew Larison. He started out on the right, on the left. As I said, when you've got only two subs, people are going to have to start filling in all over, as everybody at some point is going to get to need to have a breather. Jacob Buckingham playing that one out of bounds. And it's cleared. And speaking of breaks, we should be due for a water break in about 60 seconds time. They'll look to play that one through That will take a deflection, and we'll have a corner kick upcoming. This is the third already for the Eclipse. Howard Maxwell, the head coach for the Eclipse. Gilson Karoba calling the shots for UFC Vasco. Chipped in by Woods and skimmed off like a stone thrown off of a lake, and just kept on rolling and will settle down for Alaska. They'll go backwards with it. Plenty of time here for Walsh. Strong on the ball. No pressure. He'll move it over to the left side. Larson with it. He'll go back for Rizik. Handling it is Woods. And now over for Stanton. Stanton from inside the center circle. Misses on the connection. Seth Thomas looked to be the intended target. Now back, and Reed Thomas in control. And he'll move that over for Walsh. Walsh ahead. They'll turn that outside. Seth Thomas running on, won't be able to get there in time. We will have a goal kick when we return, but a water break indicates a 2-minute break in the action. Again, no score here in this U17 matchup between Alaska Eclipse SC and Euro FC Vasco. You're watching the 2016 Schwann's USA Cup on NSC Gamecast. Goal kick coming for Euro FC Vasco. Turned over, knocked out of bounds. Last one to touch it there was Seth Thomas. We'll have a throw-in from the near sideline. And Thomas unable to handle that one. It'll be another Vasco restart, as they've had 3 quickly here. Goal kick and a couple of throw-ins right off of the start. Buckingham, and that's Jacob, had the option short to Josh Buckingham. His number is the one that's more difficult to read, as it's white numerals on white. But I can assure you it does say there 25. So if you happen to see a player in white that you can't tell his numbers, it's probably 25, Josh Buckingham. Chip to the back door, struck, and a bad break as a great look. Ball fed in, and they had the goalkeeper coming out. It was knocked down in midair, I believe, getting a touch on that. And check that. Thought I saw number 10, and there isn't one on the Fairbanks side. But coming from the back side with a touch on it, and you're afraid of maybe kicking it too high. So the goalkeeper has an opportunity for it. Well, how about this? It ended up being kicked too far down at that trajectory because it bounced off the grass up and over. That's a terrible break for Alaska Eclipse. Firing, and a save made by the keeper. Getting the shot off was Seth Thomas. But how many times from that angle are you going to say, oh yeah, the thing you want to worry about is don't kick it too far down? That ended up being the results, and a corner kick on the way for Alaska Eclipse. Into the box it goes. Right-footed in-swinging kick taken and knocked over. That's going to stay in. Looked like the Alaska player for a moment was hoping that would roll out so they could get a corner kick going the other way. Jacob Buckingham. Yeah, that's maybe just interesting to me, but I just realized the two twin brothers are 52 and 25, the two numbers inversed. Playing it through is Larson. Looking to make a run on was Gillette. And now brought back. With it is Trejo. Coming back and looking to play on, Seth Thomas will have a goal kick on the way as UFC Vasco, we're going to get one fresh player in. Alaska Fairbanks has got two coming on. And that means the entirety of their bench off right now as they'll check in. This will give Shane Gillette as well as Jacob Lurs an opportunity for a breather. Buckingham moves it over. Tangled up is Kelly Latner, stripped of it, but comes back. Latner now with it. He'll get this over for Anderson. Anderson moves it inside. Latner brings it back out. He'll play a through ball. Slowed down by Woods. With it is Walsh, and he'll knock that over to the side. Followed up by Larson. Now on for Cole Thomas. He'll play that on, and the keeper will scoop that up as soon as it picks up steam and heads into the 18. Stumbling on it, bad break for the Eclipse, and Anderson and UFC Vasco taking advantage. Stripped of it by Cole Thomas. Thomas looking to spin. Jumping back into the picture literally is Kelly Latner, but patience shown by the Eclipse player. Trejo jumps on a loose ball, and then so does Larson. He'll bring it ahead. Anderson spinning, and it's taken right back by the Eclipse. Latner getting tangled up, staying with the play, and they'll say advantage. They saw the foul on Cole Thomas, now fed over. Thomas with a look, and it's up and over. We'll have a goal kick upcoming. 29th minute of action between UFC Vasco and Alaska Eclipse SC. This one got going a little bit late due to some player card issues, and I believe it was just that they needed to be transferred over. Knocked through and headed down. Seth Thomas with the touch. They'll play it on. And sent out. Moving it over is Rizik. They'll go backwards with it. Settled down by Baxter. Baxter pressured. Trying to come up with a steal was Latner. Eclipse going all the way back to Walsh, and he'll look to start things from the back end. Nice drag and flick from just inside the 18. Looking to let that one go. O'Rear had it partially deflected. Woods will switch sides. Pulling it onto his right foot and trying to get that one down. Not in time is Cole Thomas. Played over to the left. Latner. And Anderson with it. This is played through. And that will slip away from Toffner. We'll have a goal kick on the way. Setting up for the goal kick is Nathaniel Douglas. Douglas, right-footed clearance over to the right side. Headed. And moved on by O'Rear. Out of bounds, this one will go. We'll have a throw-in upcoming for Euro FC Vasco. Down the line it goes. And we'll have a throw-in upcoming. Substitutions being made. Seth Thomas will come off for Alaska Eclipse. This is played over. Trejo can't quite get to it in time. They'll swing this over. Gillette gets tangled up, and we'll have a foul called on the offensive side as Daniel Maurice gets the call. Played to the ground, and a couple of quick touches by both O'Rear and Cole Thomas. Move to the left side. Caden Hobbs trying to run on. Won't get there in time. And Euro FC Vasco with the throw-in upcoming. Tangled up, out of bounds. We'll have another throw-in coming for Euro FC. First touch by Buckingham. Tangled up is Gillette. Looking to move it over was Latner. That'll get out of bounds, and we'll have another throw-in for Alaska on the way. Reed Thomas, goalkeeper for the Eclipse, has had a pretty rough go of it as of late. And what I mean by that is he's just standing out in the sun with not a ton to do. It's been a while since UFC has pressured him. In fact, they had a good look early on in the game. And then after that, they did have a few chances, though none of them high percentage. And lately, not had to call his name at all. They'll play this back. Woods is able to get it over. The official signaling advantage called there, so he did acknowledge a foul, but the Alaska side kept possession and didn't want to have to slow down the game and slow down their run. Walsh feeds us ahead and lures. Turns and fires. That one's well off the mark as the goalkeeper, Logan Douglas, never moved. And he'll now head behind his own net and dig this one out. U17 boys action between Euro FC Vasco and Alaska Eclipse SC. We are about 5 minutes away from the halftime whistle blowing to the mid-circle, front edge of it, as it's seen by Euro Vasco. They'll go back and touched on by Stanton, and Stanton's got plenty of time. Nobody in his zip code. And he'll drive it deep. We'll have a foul called here. Upcoming Euro FC Vasco. Running on, getting a head on. And that one will go out of bounds. Buckingham now with it. And the keeper tells him to just move it down the line. Although Buckingham frustrated that he couldn't find anyone to direct that towards. Stanton. Long ball. Gillette touches on, and the keeper will gather from there. Logan Douglas punts that out. And they're not able to get that on to Samuel Dahlberg, who was awaiting. Played through. Dahlberg will run on. Goalkeeper switches over to the other side. Thomas just rolling it out for Walsh. Walsh ahead for Lurs. Played through. Cutting against the green is Gillette. Woods. Now with space. Cuts to the left and keeps on moving. Excuse me. That was Lurs. Struck but wide. We'll have a goal kick to restart things. And again, it's interesting as it seems like the Alaska Eclipse side has been making more substitutions than Euro FC Vasco. You would think because they have more people to do so, that it would be the Rochester side that in the end makes more substitutions, but then again, they're able to let people come off and stay off for a while. For Alaska Eclipse, looks like a men's league adult hockey team that's only got 6 or 7 skaters, and everybody's right back out there immediately. Stepping up from the back line is Stanton. Sliding in to break up a clearance. Cole Thomas couldn't connect with it. Now over for Baxter. Baxter Gets it inside. Slipping through the D is Cole Thomas. And Thomas looking to come back. It's fed inside. Thomas is nonchalant with it. Good look and a great save. Douglas dives over and another. It's sitting there for a moment, crossed over, and Douglas made two big saves. And then looked like an opportunity for Alaska Eclipse, but they could not get that third shot. And we'll have a throw-in upcoming as Daniel Maurice, who celebrated his 17th birthday earlier this month, gets it back into play. Buckingham tangled up with Baxter. And Buckingham slow to get up. Latner. And it's knocked out of bounds. Coming over to the right and taking care of it is Ricky Stanton. Buckingham stays down, and the official will signal for the training staff to come on and take a look. We are right up against the clock at the end of the first half. And Buckingham getting some assistance from Nolan Stefanik. And one of the coaches. Now they'll walk him off. Should be a throw-in upcoming for Euro FC Vasco. But not much time left here in the first half. The official will wave on the sub. O'Rear will also come off the field at the same time. Latner with it. Down the line it goes. Running on is Jacob Buckingham. And it'll take a deflection off of Buckingham. We'll have a goal kick upcoming. They'll go short with it. Over to the right. Plenty of time there for Stanton. Long ball through. Running on is Cole Thomas. Thomas with it. Plays it into the box. And it's kicked over by Nathaniel Douglas. His goalkeeper, Logan Douglas. No relation. Scoops it up. Cleared to midfield, and the whistle sounds. End of the first half. No score between Alaska Eclipse SC and Euro FC Vasco. We'll come back for the second half of this U17 boys matchup in the 2016 Schwann's USA Cup. You're watching this game as part of NSC Gamecast Productions. second half underway, and Euro FC playing this ahead. Immediately knocked out of bounds, and to start things off, similar to how the first half started, Euro FC Vasco had just one corner kick in the first half of action, but it came early on, and 15 seconds into the start of the second half, they'll get another opportunity. Eric Zamora with the play-by-play call. Robin Ehrlich, our camera operator. Danielle Dobish producing this NSC Gamecast production of the 2016 Schwann's USA Cup. U17 boys action. Gabe Storm looking to put this one into play. Right-footed in-swing. Held by the goalkeeper. Reed Thomas runs on and then rolls it over to the right side. Handled from there. Contact immediately knocked out of bounds. This will be a throw-in upcoming for the Eclipse. Looking to play that through. Onside, pulling it back. Unable to get that to come over, though, was Shane Gillette. And the teams early on in the half will trade corner opportunities. This time it's Alaska Eclipse with the chance. This also right-footed attempt, so it'll be an outswinger. No problems for Douglas as he climbs the ladder and secures that one. Up the left side. Trejo playing that ahead, and they'll get it right back to him. Trejo had his pocket picked. Looking to give a run is Lures onside. The ball in, cutting it back over and finishing it off. The striker didn't even watch that one roll into the back of the net. He knew it was in from the trajectory off of his foot, and once it got past the keeper, it was Shane Gillette giving his squad the early lead, or the lead early in the half, I should say. 43rd minute for Gillette. 1-0, Alaska on top. Eclipse coming right back with it. They'll play it out to the left side. Larson. First touch. And it's knocked away. Tangled up, but able to split through. This one will go out of bounds. And I've been calling Neo Nesengani by the wrong name the entire time. He's listed as 8 on my roster, actually wearing 81. And from the far side, at times thought that was 61, then figured maybe it was 87. But we'll correctly signify Nisengani, as he's the one who's taken both of the corner kick chances so far for Euro FC Vasco. Sun really starting to beat down. Still at 83 degrees. Tangled up just outside the box. And played from there. This one will roll out, and this will be possession. Eclipse. Throw-in taken deep into the 18 and popped up. Trejo running on, then he'll retreat back. It looked like he was hoping for a pass there. Instead, it's the Eclipse bringing it right back in. Going backwards with the pass is Lures. This is chipped through. They try to reconnect with him. Now over for Larison. He'll feed Rizik. Larison. Pressured. Inside the box. And then knocked up for Trejo. Jumping on that is Cole Thomas. This will set her down for Woods. And this will roll out of bounds. This will be Alaska ball. Lorison open wide. That's where they'll go with it. Larison pressured by Nesengani. Switch to the right side. Baxter plays it up. And from there it's gathered. They try to chip it through. Having to come to as opposed to wait for it is Lures. Out of bounds. Another Eclipse throw-in. Take his time is Walsh. They call for a wide play. And Seth Thomas. Chipped into the box. And I think they might be calling a handball here. As the player came in kind of turtling there, he's arguing that he was just bringing his hands up to his chest. But it looks like we're going to have a penalty kick, and this could really open up the game for the Alaska Eclipse. Douglas is set, so is Zachary Woods. Right-footed attempt, and it's saved! If Euro FC Vasco are able to advance, we're going to need to go back and look at that as potentially the play of the game. And then diving over, making another save is Douglas. The big play comes in the 48th minute and keeps it a one-goal game. Played in. And now trying to get over to the other side. They'll track it down. Nice pullback by Gillette. Looks to get it into the box. Knocked down and struck up and over. We're going to have a handball, but this time going the other way. This will give a free kick to the defense. So a good start for Alaska Eclipse, but perhaps a big momentum swing there, as it looked like they were going to be ahead 2-0. Now back at it, though, and trying to do it the hard way. The shot goes up and over. Good look there by Hobbs. And we'll have another goal kick on the way. My name is Eric Zamora with the play-by-play call. Robin Ehrlich, our camera operator, Danielle Dobish, producing this NSC Gamecast production for the 2016 Schwann's USA Cup. Shot blocked there as it was Cole Thomas trying to move it along. Long ball through. Seth Thomas, the intended target. They can't find the striker. Over on the left side. Now with it is Henry Thomas, and he'll get it inbounds over for Latner. Tangled up, and a partial clearance. Not as much as he wanted on that, but the important thing was to get it out of harm's way. With it now, Andrew Larison, as his team enjoys a 1-0 lead. We'll go short to Rizik. Poked over by Cole Thomas. They'll keep it going to the right side. These two teams trying to stay alive. The U17 Boys 2016 Schwann's USA Cup. They've got title thoughts on their mind, but they'll need to escape this one. About 8 minutes away from a water break. Moved over for Walsh. Inside for Rizik. Now handed off. Looking to move it is Lurs. Trejo. Dishes. Quick touch by Nesengani. Nesengani has it stripped from him at the last moment by Seth Thomas. And they'll call a late challenge against Alaska Eclipse. Now a four-man wall setting up for the Eclipse. Struck up, never came down. That one got away from Latner. And we'll have a goal kick up coming for Eclipse. Stepping up as a defense. They'll play it to the other defense as Nathaniel Douglas able to jump up and bring that one down. One quick touch, but out of the reach of Andrew Larison. He'll retreat. Now on it is Thomas. Henry Thomas gets it to the chest of an opponent. Seth Thomas unable to keep that ahead. Stepping into the fray is Kelly Latner. Stolen away. And looking to move it up is Cole Thomas. Trying to get there in time is O'Rear. They'll keep it moving down the line. Cut back, and now with it is Woods. Woods feeds it over for Larison. Larison pestered by Trejo, but able to make the clean handoff. Gets it over for Cole Thomas. Now over to the right side. A partial deflection there. And tapped over Seth Thomas. Pestered. Coming up with the ball and moving it inside is Matthew Hebel. Turned over, Thomas with it. Thomas playing it ahead. Pulling it back. And unable to get the shot through is Jacob Lurs. They'll go outside. And getting frustrated there was William Toffner. And it looked like Toffner looked over the official and was waiting for the call instead of trying to get to the ball. The official allowing some contact and we've got a play on advantage situation here. Still with it is Rizik, and he fires a shot that hits off the post of the far side. I'll move this back. With it is Lurs. He'll hand off for Walsh. Going back to the circle. Now over. Nesengani. Nesengani tries to get that over. Nesengani now with a chance and taken down as sliding over was Larison, and the offside flag went up. So I think for a moment UFC Vasco fans were thinking maybe a penalty kick was going to be handed out, but instead this will be black ball as Alaska Eclipse look to send it deep. Chested and then knocked out of bounds by Latner. This will allow for a substitution upcoming, and one of the few times that the Eclipse squad has made just one change instead of two. Down the line they go with it. Moving over is Walsh. Walsh hands off to Cole Thomas. Pulling it back is Gillette, the goal scorer. He'll slide over to the right. And Hobbs. He'll receive it from Baxter. Hobbs feeding it. Gillette gets it inside, and a kick save by the goaltender. Following up, and this time it goes wide. Two good looks by Jacob Lurs as he was touched on by Gillette. First one, the goalkeeper Logan Douglas diving over, another remarkable save. And then the second one sent wide to the left. We'll have a goal kick on the way. He'll play it over to the left. And it's knocked out of bounds. Last played off of Tristan Trejo. Trejo celebrated his 17th birthday earlier this month. And hoping for a late present here. And a game-tying goal as his squad finds themselves down, and we are just about the halfway point of the second half. Running on is Reed Thomas, and Thomas will just eat up some more clock and hold on to that as he's finally pressured by William Toffner. Then rolled out to the right side. Knocked down by Rizik. They'll play this on Trejo. Has that one go out of bounds off of him. Thrown on the way for the Eclipse. They'll go back to their D. Baxter moves it over. Coming this way is Walsh. Larson. Now with space. Larson. He'll find Lurs. And they'll go back with it. And offside as the protest comes from Trejo. They'll move it over. Larson has space in front of him. He'll stop at midfield and dish it off. Lurs switches fields. Unable to get there in time is Caden Hobbs. We'll have a goal kick and a water break will be taken here. And so we'll be back with the final 20 minutes of Euro FC Vasco and Alaska Eclipse SC. The Eclipse on top 1-0. You're watching the 2016 Schwann's USA Cup on NSC Gamecast. Playing this over to the right, and it's quickly jumped on by Alaska. Seth Thomas will hand that off. Moved over by Gillette. Now with it is Hobbs. Stolen away. And a collision there. Bouncing off of Maurice, so able to play it forward. This one will go out of bounds. And possession will be for the Eclipse. Shane Gillette scoring a 43rd minute goal. It's been the only one of the contests so far. Down the line. And just keeping that in. Should we need extra time, we would go to 2 5-minute overtime periods. Not golden goal, meaning if somebody scores in the first 30 seconds, we still play the entirety of the extra 10 minutes. And then if that doesn't determine a winner, if either neither team scores or both teams score an equal amount of goals, then we would go to penalty kicks. And diving over is Toffner, coming up with it. And moving is Trejo. And it's knocked down, but O'Rear will be called for the handball. We'll have a free kick coming the way of Euro FC Vasco. Struck from the other side. And skied straight up. This will take a bounce before coming back down to earth. knocking it down, but jumping in the way of that was Gillette, and he'll look to move it over to the right side. In possession is Rizik. Over for Hobbs. Handed off by Rizik. Now coming over and worked in, firing the shot, and it's finished off. Getting the touch on is Seth Thomas, and he gives his squad the 2-0 lead. Left-footed slam home right on the doorstep. '66th minute goal. And a big insurance one for the Eclipse. There's been discussion, and they've waved this one off as the official goes over with the AR. And I think they're going to call this one offside. Inside the 6. So it's still 1-0. And a huge break here for Euro FC Vasco. We'll see if they're able to build off this and turn things around. Larson switches inside to Rizik. Rizik gets tangled up, and fighting for it there was Latner. They'll move it over. Settled down, and no time for either side to do much with it. Stepping up was Trejo. Vasco playing it through. Trejo trying to spin around Baxter. This one goes out of bounds. Baxter with the throw in, and coming from the blind side, that's knocked out of bounds. So we'll have another thrown up coming for the Eclipse. Larson from inside midfield. He can't connect there with Hobbs. Hobbs running on. Knocked out of bounds by Maurice. They'll go backwards with it and handled by Baxter. Scooped out of there and out of play by Mitchell Allen. And we've had a number of throw-ins consecutively for Alaska Eclipse. So right now, the Euro FC Vasco side trying to get some subs on and not able to. They'll play this. Now coming back for it is Trejo. Stepping over into the right is Rizik. Rizik still in possession. And with it is Baxter. Baxter goes up the line with it. Sliding over. Clean challenge. And again, the Euro FC players waiting at midfield and unable to get into play. Eclipse going backwards with it. Larson. Larson feeds it over. Rizik. And a foul against Euro FC Vasco. We'll have an opportunity here for Alaska Eclipse SC trying to get that insurance goal they thought they'd gotten from Thomas a few moments ago, and it ended up being waved off. Struck, and that hits the wall. Four-man wall does its job, and it looks like we're going to have an offensive foul called against Alaska Eclipse. They'll move it over to the right side. Brought down. First touch there by Gabe Storm. Getting back there in time is Lurs. Lurs plays it up the line, and Larson comes back for it. Trejo with the steal for Storm. Goes over for Trejo. Lurs can't keep it away from Trejo. Now Trejo spins around, gets tangled up, and we're going to have a foul going against Trejo as he tried to reach in on Jacob Lurs. And it's a tough break right for Euro FC Vasco. There's not really anything they can do. They can't intentionally play the ball out of bounds, as if they did on their own on the sides, it'd be a throw-in for Alaska. If they did over their own goal line, it would be a corner kick. They could technically intentionally play it long, but one, they've had a hard time getting it that deep, and two, if you do get it that deep, down by a goal, last thing you want to do is intentionally play a ball out of bounds to give the other team a goal kick just so you can get some fresh players on. And I think when we had that free kick upcoming, I think that's a great example of an area where the team with the free kick, if they elect to say, hey, we're willing to slow things down in order to make a substitution, it's our ball after all, I think they should be able to. Walsh will go back to the keeper. Reed Thomas comes well out of the 18 and plays it through. First one there is Thomas. He knocks it over. Rizik on it. And a nice pull. Getting tangled up from there. They'll lay it over to the right side. They'll clear it out, but right to Alaska Eclipse players. Struck, and that is torsoed out. Jumping up and clearing it is Latner. And that one won't settle for Toffner. Stepping up, they'll play it through. Toffner. Now with the first touch. Coming over is Gillette, and he'll come up with it. From his blind side, Toffner, but heavy steps, and he was able to react just in time. Trejo switches over to the left side. They'll go backwards with it to the midfield. Latner switches with his left foot. And this will be played by the goalkeeper. And it looks like he's going to hold it here for as long as he needs to. Now coming over is Tristan Trejo. And Trejo forces the goalkeeper to pick it up. Reed Thomas walks it to the top of the 18 and releases. First one there, Henry Thomas. On the other side, Rizik takes over. They'll get it for Seth Thomas onto the goalkeeper, and he'll kick that out. That line of players at midfield for Euro FC Vasco getting larger, and they've also added a player over from the Eclipse side, so the next time either team has a throw-in, we'll have a substitution coming up. Played on, onside. Bring it over, knocked down, and to Thomas. Thomas with a left-footed finish, and it's stopped by Douglas. This one will be knocked out of play. A throw-in from the far side, and it's been a while that they've been there, but looking to get in the game with about 5 minutes left to go. Euro FC Vasco will finally get the subs that they needed out there. And as we saw, looked like Eclipse was going to and does indeed make one change. Coleman Baxter will come off as they've got the one-on-one off. Seth Thomas, and they'll get it right back to him. He'll cut it over, feeds it from the top of the box, poked away by Storm, and cleared out. Trejo. Pressured from behind by Cole Thomas. Stepping up was Hobbs. Hobbs hands it off for Rizek. Storm clears it. This will be headed over. And Lurs will play that over to his goalkeeper. Pressured by Dahlberg. They move it over to the right side. Walsh. Hands off. Gillette. Looks to get a ball through. Storm breaks it up. Now over for Thomas. Thomas running on. And we'll have a goal kick on the way, as that was played by Stefanik off of the charging Thomas. About 3 minutes or so left in regulation if there's no stoppage time added. 1-0. Alaska Eclipse SC on top of Euro FC Vasco in a winner-go-home scenario. Looking to move that over is Stefanik. This one will go out of bounds, and we'll have a throw-in from the far sideline deep in enemy territory are the squad from Fairbanks. Alaska Eclipse clinging to that one-goal lead, and they'll move this back for Rizek. Rizek gets it right back to the thrower. Crossed, and that one will take a deflection off of Maurice. We'll have a corner kick on the way. Second of the half, sixth of the game for the Eclipse. They'll take their time to set this one up correctly. Low, and trying to get that out was Buckingham. It kind of rolled on him. Now settling down, firing the shot. It takes a deflection, and it's in. Gillette ripped that one, and it deflected off of a defenseman. The insurance goal, just when it looked like there was going to be an opportunity for Euro FC Vasco to try to come back after the corner kick was taken. It settles down for Shane Gillette, and he nets his second of the game and the only 2 goals of the contest so far, as Alaska Eclipse SC now on top 2-0. Trejo moves it over to the left side. Trejo tangled up, and they'll cut this over to the right. Cole Thomas now pulling it back and looking to move it is Latner. This will roll in on the goalkeeper. Reed Thomas will wait until he's pressured as Dahlberg forces him to pick it up. He'll give that a boot, and it's shouldered away by Stefanik. They'll go back with it. Now move it over for Gillette. Gillette. And it's cleared away. A little bit of confusion there at the last minute. They decide to go the safe route. Alaska Eclipse SC will be rewarded as they've got a corner kick coming up. And the seconds ticking away, not much time left. They're just trying to put the finishing touches on what has been a beautiful performance so far. Just 13 players, including the goalkeeper. That one skips, and it's in. We've seen 2 goals late off of deflections, and Seth Thomas will end up making this one look like it was more of a blowout than it was. At the 80th minute, Seth Thomas with a goal off the corner kick, and 3-0 Alaska Eclipse SC on top. Remember, this was a game that went into the start of the second half scoreless. But Gillette early on, then late again, and now Seth Thomas extremely late. Trejo goes backwards with it. Touched on there. Played over. And now coming on with speed is Woods. Woods looking to get around Latner. Woods draws a corner kick. This is the 8th of the contest, and they'd scored on the previous 2. They'll chip this in, unable to connect on the header. Knocked out of bounds, and that is a final here as Alaska Eclipse SC will move on in the 2016 Schwann's USA Cup. My name's Eric Zamora, and for everyone who was a part of the broadcast, including our camera operator Robin Ehrlich and our producer Danielle Dobish, we appreciate you tuning in to watch this matchup. Alaska Eclipse SC defeating Euro FC Vasco by a final score of 3-0. You've been watching the Schwann's USA Cup, brought to you by NSC Gamecast.